Alright, this video is going to be about me getting ready to go through an intense period of brainwashing. But we'll change the term a bit because that kind of sounds a little weird, but self-hypnosis. Because as I was thinking, I understood. I was like, okay, there is only a limit placed on the being that you choose to be. Or I guess there's only a limit when you yourself are limited. And I want to experiment and see how far I can change myself. Or I guess improve myself within the, I guess, mental spectrum of things. I basically want to kind of change who I am. And not so much as completely get rid of who I am, you get me? In a way, I technically am, though. But what I mean is to be more so a better version of myself and improve my ideal self, what I ideally want to be. Because I thought about it and I was like, you know, you can literally change how you interact with the world and how the world interacts with you based on your perception of self. I said self. Fucking lisp. Your perception of self. You feel me? But nah, but on a real note, yeah. When you change the way that you perceive yourself, the way that people perceive you also changes. And when I figured that out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to keep that in mind, because so long as I have a certain perception of myself, that will completely dictate how I'm interacting with anyone else. And I feel like that would help me get rid of a lot of things that are unnecessary, like about myself. And instead they'd be replaced with things that I deem necessary for myself. You know what I mean? And I know it's a very powerful thing because, like, self-hypnosis, like, it's been around for eons, basically. Literally, actually, not even basically, but literally, in some way, shape, or form. And when you think about it, we really aren't necessarily limited to anything outside of what we, aside from what we deem ourselves capable of being limited by. So it's like, shit, man, I might just have to, you know what I'm saying, talk to myself for hours upon hours in an extremely powerful way in order to become somebody that I decided that I wanted to be. And what's even crazier is that it really does work wonders when you have a perception of self that is just so far above where you're at now. Like when you decide to be that person, everything changes. In very subtle but dramatic ways, you get me? Like me, I used to have a lot of social anxiety. Like I was very to myself because I just didn't want to. Not only did I not want to interact with people, but I also had like a slight fear of interacting with people. And then out of nowhere, the more that I started, I guess, doing it, I guess, interacting with people, it kind of helped a little bit. But the thing that helped literally the most, more than anything, was me changing how I seen myself and how I thought I would interact with people, how smoothly I thought things would go, and me just understanding finally how simple things really are when, I guess, operating from this type of perspective or this type of way. Oh, 1 second. Have a low battery. But yeah. And then over time, I started to really develop a certain type of perception of myself. And that helped me overcome so many things, so many problems that I used to have. And I'm honestly very grateful. Because now, like, I don't get any social anxiety whatsoever. Like, I used to literally feel it in my gut, like, oh shit, I'm fucking nervous, blah, 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 blah. But of course, as soon as I would talk, got the hiccups, man, I just got done eating. As soon as I would talk, it just gets flushed out, and then I start to flow. Cause like, it's not like I'm necessarily bad at conversations, but sometimes I have a lot going on up here, or I used to have a lot going on up here, and it just fucked me up left and right, bro. It was like everything I wanted to say just got socked in the chest. And then eventually I just abandoned, this shit and used this instead. It was all intuitive at that point. Like, now when I converse with people, like, say for instance I want to meet somebody or anything along the line of that, just any random person, whether on the street, at the gym, mall, a school, I don't fucking know, work. All I do is I just go. No thoughts. Boom. And then the interaction just is very, I'd say a very good interaction. Like 99 times out of 100 at this point. But I was like, okay, it's not only limited, and that's another thing, dude. I used to, now imagine this. Imagine being one of the most attractive men ever to exist. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, but I am. But anyways, yeah, imagine being one of the most, I guess, admirable people within your school, but basically not exactly pulling at all. Like, and it all stemmed from how I saw myself, because that's how I carried myself. And when you carry yourself that way, it's so weird. And to my surprise, there were a lot of, like, because I've always had, like, throughout high school, I've had, like, a nice, good physique, especially compared to everyone else at school. Apologies. And it wasn't until after I, of course, left school that I realized that there were quite a few women that had crushes on me and whatnot, and that shit caught me off guard. I was like, damn. And I just wasn't open to the perception. I did not have the confidence. Like, even when I built the body, my confidence kind of rose a bit, but my confidence literally dramatically increased when I became just delusionally fucking confident in myself, like, to the point, like, and I say quote unquote delusionally because I literally, like, believe that shit to the core. Like, I'm that guy now. Like, I just walk around, I'm like, dude, I am, like, you guys gotta hear me when I'm like, when I'm just talking to my family and whatnot. I'm like, damn, God really blessed me from birth. Like, there's just no possible way for me to lose. And my mom, she would, sometimes she would talk to me or whatever, or I'd be walking past. I'm like, dang, Mom, you literally gave birth to the greatest thing that this earth has ever had. Like, it's just, like, I say a lot of stuff, like some stupid shit like that. And honestly, it's funny, but deep down, I actually believe that, like, I believe that, like, I'm a gift in a way. And it's not so much to be conceited, because it's not like I'm gonna, I guess, try and like rub that shit just everywhere, but like that's in my frame of mind. And I only really say that shit around my family and stuff, because, you know, not only does it make them laugh, but put a smile on their face. Always put a smile on my face. And I really want everyone to kind of have that type of confidence about themselves, you feel me? Like, believing that you are that person, you feel me? And like, it's funny because I'm just like, dude, like my homies, one of my homies, his name is Steven, he be like, you's a hoe ass, nigga. Because I'm always like, I mean, like, when you're just me, you just don't lose. Like, being light skin, caramel, jacked as fuck, ripped abs, light skin again, beautiful, seductive smile. You just, I don't know, like, I'm sorry that I'm one of God's favorites, literally God's favorite, and that, like, there's nothing that you could do about it. Because I'm just that guy, like, the most sexy, attractive, wonderful male to ever grace this earth. And I literally say that shit just like that. And it's fucking hilarious. But, like, the more that I say it, like, it really, like, starts to get instilled in me. But I want to basically reinforce myself through my self-hypnosis, you got me? I want to reinforce the ideal me and really lock that shit in so I can really just take the world by storm, basically. Like, to be just charismatic, uninhibited, literally the king of the world type beat. I have but like, it's weird though, because like, I don't know how it's possible, but it's like I'm so arrogant, but at the same time I'm so humble. Like, I see myself just on a level unknown to everyone across this world. But like, even though I see myself up there, I don't see myself above any of you. You get me? Like, I'm always willing to learn from people. I'm always willing to hear people out. That's the main thing. There are some things that, like, I guess you could say can directly contradict what I'm really, like, about as a person. And like, there isn't, I guess, any dots that'll connect or any lines that'll connect. It's just literally like that. Like, they're just gonna suit two different ways, you feel me? But I don't necessarily want to be like a dickhead about it, unless that person's being a dickhead about trying to like press that shit onto me after I've already made it clear. I mean, like, that's cool and all, but like, that's not really me, you get me? Then of course I'm gonna be a fucking dickhead, because, like, bro, like, it takes a dickhead to know a dickhead, and when you know a dickhead, you can communicate with the dickhead. When you communicate with the dickhead, your shit gets through, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Your points get across. We're gonna keep it just like that, you feel me? But yeah, I see myself like as fucking delusional as it sounds. I honestly, genuinely believe that with enough time and with me pulling off layers of limitation, I could literally become a one-man army type beat. Like, I feel like I would be able to, by myself, single-handedly, take down a fucking nation. And like, it just sounds so wacky, outlandish, delusional. But I know that I can. I know it's possible. That is for sure. I know for a fact it's fucking possible to literally be a one-man army. But the only thing is, I'm gonna have to peel back layers of limitation. And that's where the challenge is. That's where the fun is. That's where the fun is within this process. The fun for me is the challenge. Because as I've stated in a previous video, as soon as pressure hits me, I'm online, you get me? Like, I literally become almost like a different person. Like, it strengthens me. It builds me up, you get me? Like, it doesn't really just fucking crush me and shit. Like, get this shit off me, bro. It's too much. Nah, bro. I'm the type of buck nigga that's like, hey, more. Where's that shit at? You feel me? I'm like, that's it? That's all you got? Like, do you not know who I am? Like, I guess you can call it an ego. In a way. I feel like an ego is very powerful, though. And I feel like it exists for a reason. And like me, I want to be that type of person that wears my ego around as a chain, you feel me? Take that chain off whenever I want. Put that shit right back on, you feel me? But I want it to always kind of be there, you know? That way I can do what I do when I gotta do what I gotta do. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I highly recommend you guys look into, I guess, self-hypnosis. Or you don't have to, it's whatever. But so far I've found some results with it, but I really want to take it to the next level and really forge a certain character within myself. That way I can really reach the heights that I want to reach. Because I know that I'm on the right path. But the me in here, I want this person to really be on a whole different level. That way this person that you guys see will literally be on an entire different level. And then you'll be like, shit, this dude's coming from fucking nothing, and now he is literally something that should not exist. To a lot of people, guys, I guess. And that would just make my world. Because then that would literally just toss so much shit on its fucking back. And I feel like this world is just way too magical to not be magical. You know? There's way too many impossible things that go on day in and day out for anything to be impossible. So it's just like, fuck it, bro. But it's honestly, I feel like it's a blessing. It's a blessing. And it can be seen as a curse, I guess. Being able to, I guess, think in a way that goes against the grain. That a lot of people would be like, whoa, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, I could probably be put in a fucking mental hospital and they'll say I'm clinically ill or some shit. If they found out. Like, if they just realized how I really see things and how I think. But, will I get put in the fuck out? Fuck no, bro. They not putting me in an asylum. I mean, well, they put Kanye in. I don't give a fuck, though. We gonna go crazy, bro. I can't live within limitation. I don't like that restraint, that feeling of restraint. It's terrible, terrible feeling. I want freedom at its core, to be completely free. To be free to put chains on and off at will. We'll say it like that, because that sounds better. Because I could easily become completely free right now. But anyways, y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, you feel me? I forgot what this title's going to be. Probably like self-hypnosis. Like, I'm going to go crazy with self-hypnosis in the next, what's it called? Periods of whether it's weeks, months, I don't even know. It might even be a lifestyle thing to really just solidify my character. Because I know if I can fucking mold my essence into exactly what I want it to be, there is nothing at all that will ever stand in my way, no matter what circumstance hits me. And that's what we on, you feel me? But anyways, appreciate y'all for tuning in, you feel me? Success in the building, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. Also, like, comment. I mean, you don't have to like, unless you like it. But definitely comment, though, because I do want to talk to y'all.